Hey everyone, so I was drawn or inspired or urged to share this dream that I had the other night. And I did several readings yesterday, and a few times I was getting the nudge, share it, share it. So I feel like this message is going to hit home for many of us. So I had a dream that I was on top of a really large boat in the water. And my dad was on it, someone else was on it, I don't remember who. And my dad said something like, the boat is sinking. And I looked, and one end of the boat, I'll get my hands in the in the video, one end of the boat was like going down, and I could feel the panic within my dad. And I'm like, I gotta resolve this. He was trying to like figure it out, and I'm like, I need to solve this. And then all of a sudden, I was on some type of form of transportation, never saw exactly what it was, but I was going so fast across the water, going over to mainland. It was like a jet. And I could see the mainland. I'm talking on the phone with someone saying, yeah, I'm just coming into the mainland just so I can get some help because our boat is sinking. And then I'm getting closer and closer to the mainland. I'm like, where the heck are the brakes? Who's driving this thing in the first place? I had no idea how to slow it down. And it didn't slow down. We got to the mainland, and this vehicle kept on going until I ended up in it was like this big sandy type of industrial type of, I'll call it a parking lot, even though it was like a sand ground. But the reason why I'm saying parking lot is because there were these really like full-size dump trucks that were neon green, and they were in a row in this really large space. But the dump trucks, there was three on top of one another. That's where they were parked. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, all stacked up. So you can see how my dream is totally realistic, right? So anyways, I zoomed into this area, and I must have hit a row of the dump trucks, and 3 different rows started to fall. And I remember saying, well, I hope insurance is going to take care of that. And then I kept going. I turned around, and then all of a sudden I was on foot. And I was at this stoplight, and there was either a police officer there or someone in road construction that's like, nope, you're gonna have to wait. So it was like an official, you're gonna have to wait. I'm like, okay, so it was just like waiting at my needed to be patient. Sorry, exclamation mark, I guess, because my dog started barking. Hey, enough. Let's see how this goes. Hopefully it'll calm down. Okay, so then all of a sudden I was back on the boat with my dad. And I looked, and the boat seemed to be level. And then I looked down on the water, and I noticed there was this huge raft with a really comfy type of top where we could have easily gone to should we ran into trouble. So I thought, oh wow, I guess we didn't have to panic. There was somewhere we could go. And then I looked over to the right. There was an island. Now the island was like right there. All I had to do was get off of the boat and walk to shore. And it wasn't only just an island. All of a sudden I was inside this house that was on the island. Now the house had no furniture in it, but it had these area rugs on the ground. And my dad said, we need to find the white carpet because that's where the cockroaches are. That sounds nice, eh? So I lifted up one of the carpets, the first carpet I lifted up, and there was the white carpet, and I saw these cockroaches scatter. And then so I started thinking, okay, so we have to solve this issue. We need to clear this out. And it seemed like a pretty simple thing to do. We just had to get the carpets out. We didn't have to lug furniture and clothing and all that kind of stuff. Just get the carpets out and then fumigate, right? Get rid of the cockroaches, be done. Okay, so why am I telling this to you? And I just noticed 444 is the amount of time I've been talking so far. So why have I been telling you all this? So basically, I remember being in a panic on the inside, anxiety, anxiousness coming up when I thought, oh no, this ship is sinking. I need to solve this problem. And as soon as I decided, okay, I'm gonna solve this problem, I had a vehicle like, phew, sure, I'm a creator. Sure, you wanna do this? Let's get this done. But then when I was back on the ship and I noticed the raft, I was safe the whole time. I noticed the island that was right there. There was a house right there. I had all the resources that I needed. But my focus was zoned in on, holy crap, the ship is sinking. And doesn't that happen anytime something unfolds in the way you didn't expect it, you didn't want it to, and we can initially have that, holy crap. So I even had my house flooded last spring. It ended up being a blessing. In the moment, it sure didn't feel like a blessing, but now I was able to create a kitchen that makes me so happy, and I have room for everything now. So it's about acknowledging when the fears or anxieties, anxiousness comes up, and then finding a way to step beyond that. And sometimes we need to distract ourselves. Maybe we can do something playful, fun. Maybe we take a nap to sleep on it, to get out of that space. Maybe we watch a comedy on TV or something to shift our perspective, because it really is about shifting your perspective. So I'm going to tell you one more thing before I sign this off, and this might help it resonate even further. So this morning I went to take my dogs for a walk, and one of my dogs right now doesn't have a collar because it's still at the groomers. So I've been keeping her walking harness on her, because if she suddenly wants to go out in the backyard, I don't have fencing, I need something to hook onto her. So I went to go take her for the walk, and the harness wasn't on her. So I'm like, oh no, one of my kids took it off. And I'm looking at the front door, looking in the living room, kitchen, and automatically my body wanted to tense in my stomach. It wanted to tense, and I wanted to go in a place of frustration, anger. Like I could feel that wanting to happen within me. Like, oh, that sucks. And I need to get, I was on a time limit, a time frame to get this dog walk completed. But then I stopped myself. I didn't allow this to take place. I'm like, no, wait. I'm going to ask my guide team for support. And I said, all right, where's the harness? And the first thought that I got that popped into my head was the basement. I'm like, all right, let's trust this. Let's go. Went down into the basement, and I was sitting right there on the table that I do readings on. So simple. Ease and flow. I did not have to get in the place of, oh no, this sucks, right? And so this happened last week as well. There was something that I was about to react to. I'm like, don't do it. Don't go there. Your thoughts are so powerful, right? So you can direct your thoughts. Feel in your body, notice what's going on, and you take charge of how you're gonna flow through life. It's so much easier. Anyway, so much love to you. If you're interested in a one-on-one reading with me, you can check out my website, thejoyfulyogini.ca. For the light within me, I honor the beautiful, brilliant light within you. Namaste. Bye.